Hey, HEAT team, welcome to our all HEAT team call Tuesday night. But what's special about this one tonight is it's a little bit of a wrap up from conference. So first of all, for those of you that didn't make it, we know that you would have loved to have been there. And so you don't have to feel bad or guilty that you didn't come, but it's great that you're on the call tonight so that you can really hear what went on and all of our excitement that we had. And we've got several of the NMDs, the HEAT NMDs tonight that are going to be sharing with us their takeaways. So I'm going to get right in. I'm Nikki. This is Chris Cotton. For those of you that don't know, or maybe you're brand new, we are 100 Club national marketing directors with this amazing Juice Plus company, our wellness company, who is the first company ever to have done what they did with plant powders, the first company ever to have as many studies as we have. It makes us so different and set apart from anything else out there. And for one, I am so incredibly proud and incredibly grateful that this company found me and that I said yes when I was invited to look. Seriously, just, yeah. So what I want to talk a little bit about is a couple things I want to just say right away that I'm not sure that they're going to be covered. So I just want to say them right up front. The first one is Mexico. We're going to be opening in Mexico in 2020, and I know a lot of you have friends down there. I know a lot of you travel down there, and there's really going to be an opening for all of us in our next door neighbor, and we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Going back.
Yeah, going back, seeing what we can collect there. The other thing I wanted to just share real briefly with all of you was our 500 strong lunch that we have every year. First of all, Lenora could not be on the call tonight. I was hoping that she would be able to be it to express what went on, because she has completely taken on organizing and getting us ready for 500 strong. And I'm so proud of her for taking this on. It really feels like, you know, that is what this whole business, this whole mission is, duplication. I had this idea several years ago, and Lenora just ran with it. And so she's really done such an amazing job. But one of the things that we do at 500 Strong is, you know, our mission statement is to empower women around the world to live lives of passion, purpose, and possibility. And so Lenora had this amazing idea to connect with and create a relationship with the Kiva organization. And it's an organization where you lend money to business women all over the world. And so during the event, Lenora put up the names of all the women that we've loaned money to, microloans to start business. Now, it's not a donation because the money comes back to us, but then what we do is we continue to loan it out again. So that's one thing, and we've already loaned out, I think it was around $1,500 that has circulated, but guess what we collected? Is anybody curious as to what we collected in Austin? Anybody? Just, you know, hands up. I can't see everybody, but I imagine you guys, yeah, I see you, Kirsten. I looked at that bag of money. We collected over $800 that day. So we're putting $800 more towards the Kiva organization to help all those women be able to start businesses and be empowered and live the lives of passion, purpose, and possibility that we found with Juice Plus. So I wanted to share that. And then finally, I wanted to share a thought that I've been brewing on for a long time now, a really long time now. And Chris and I have worked with a group, and we call a lot of what we do to group consciousness. And what I want to share is it really came home once again with Sean Hopkins at the National Marketing Director meeting, when he talked about all the different teams that they have. I think they have 62 teams coordinating to make sure that our next 25 years are as good and better than the first 25 years, between IT, between our compensation plan, between graphics, everything, 62 teams, and each is a piece of the puzzle. And when one team does well, what do you think that does for the rest of the puzzle? It actually builds more enthusiasm and more wins for the rest of the teams. And I've always seen it like that. We are the HEAT. And I see our national marketing directors coming together and each of us sharing what we're doing, what's working. And I see each of you, each every individual on the call, there's something that I want to share with you that my daughter asks at the beginning of her meetings and when she's working with people. And the question is, who could benefit? Who else could benefit from what you know? Who else could benefit? So every time you do something that's successful, you could ask yourself, who else could benefit from this? So if you're in a small conversation with just one team member and you're giving them advice and it works, that's great. Who else could benefit? Maybe your smaller team, maybe your larger team, maybe the whole HEAT team, maybe the entire Juice Plus community. Think about this. That's what our founder members are. They were people that came up with great ideas that didn't just share with their teams. They didn't just share with their uplines. They shared with the entire Juice Plus world. So I'd like to think about us as, who in here wants to be a founder member of our team? Who wants to really be the person that really takes it on to share in a really simple way? It's a copy and paste most times. On Voxer, copy and paste to a larger group. On Facebook, copy and paste to the larger group. The larger group for all of us is the HEAT Facebook group. I know each team has their smaller one, but if you're coming up with a great idea, you can just say, wonder who else could benefit from this. I think I'm going to share it with. So I'm going to challenge everybody, just like Sean Hopkins did at our NMD meeting. Who else can benefit by what you know that you can share for the greater group? Because I will promise you, any one person who becomes, what's the word I'm looking for? Who learns more, who develops more, who has a larger consciousness that shares with any other one person, it expands the whole entire group. And the thought about that is 20,000 years ago, we had evolved to be basically the people we are today. The caveman had the same size brain. They had the same size ability we have today. We physically haven't changed in all that time, but what has changed is we have evolved consciously. And when each person does their own little evolution and shares it with the group, the entire group expands. So I'm offering that up to everybody tonight to see how much we can share and expand with one another. So with that said, our next speaker is going to be Sandy Tabola. And hold on, Sandy, I'm going to look for you. Let's see, there you are. There you are. So I'm going to get you on. Sandy Tabola is our HEAT NMD from the Las Vegas area. Take it away, Sandy.
All right. Hey, everyone. Really glad to be with you. And it was so fun. I love our 500 strong lunch because I get to see you all, not always talk to you all. But one thing before I start, I want to say, if you haven't watched the 500 strong video that Lenora played at the event, be sure and watch it. There wasn't a dry eye watching it. And you'll see who all we are and what we're doing, who we're helping. Okay, so I'm Sandy Tabola. I am one of the HEAT team NMDs, and I have been in love with this company for many years. And I have never, each time I say this, but I've never been as excited as I am right now. This company has your back. And the leaders that they had share at the JP Live just really showed, that the company really invests in the field and wants the field to be doing the training. And so I'm going to share about Jamie Kenzie. She talked about success through social media. Some of it's going to sound really familiar, but I absolutely loved how simply she put it. She talked about being your own brand and to keeping it really simple on Facebook and find the medium that you love. Get good at that. If it's Instagram, great. If it is Facebook, do that, but really invest in it. And she says, put out content before you consume. So you know how it's easy to get stuck in the scrolling? So before you scroll, you're going to want to add value. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. She talked about marketing versus prospecting. So in marketing, that's passive. That's when you're posting and you're hoping that someone bites and says, hey, tell me more. And it's good, but sometimes we let the prospecting go because it's just easier to do the posting, isn't it? And she says that prospecting is so important. It's active. It's reaching out to an individual, being proactive. And it's often overlooked, but it's the one thing we can control, isn't it? We can control how many conversations we start and the inviting and the following up and how important that is. So she talked about joining Facebook groups, or for Instagram, you search hashtags, and then you look for people, and you can look for groups that share your same interests. And so she talked about when she was getting ready to come to Austin, she started searching for CrossFit groups because that's something she's really into that were in Austin. And then she would get on there, she would add value, she would, post, comment, and then when she found someone that was like-minded, she'd message them. And then she would say something like, hey, I know we don't know each other, but you live in Austin and I'm wanting to expand in Austin. Would you be open to some info on what I do? If not, no worries. And if you may be recognizing this, and she gave credit to Rank Makers, Ray Higdon, for this, but it's kind of magical in that you're letting them know, you're getting right to the point. You're letting them know why you're contacting them, and that you're addressing the elephant in the room. I know we don't know each other. You're getting to the point. I want to expand in Austin. I see you live in Austin. And then you let them out. If not, would you watch? If not, no big deal. And so then she talked about how she was doing that, and she was playing ping pong with people. And she said it didn't materialize for someone to actually come to JP Live, but I loved that she wasn't so addicted to the outcome, but more addicted to her activity. And this works, y'all. It really does. I've been doing the same thing, and I did have a guest at JP Live, and that was so exciting. And again, you just get more addicted to your activity. Okay, so let's see. Be part of the group, add values. So for posting, realize that our social media audience isn't a standing army just waiting, for orders, but they're more like a moving parade. And so people are busy. They don't see all or even many of your posts. So don't worry about posting similar content. In fact, she suggested take time to save some of your messages and repost them, a week or so later with a different picture. And she talked about emotional pain is an opportunity for our growth and for others. So be real. She suggests make content that won't do well. That you're not polished and doing something really professional, because people will scroll past that. But you show up with some curlers in your hair and a mess, and you're talking about a real mom moment, and people want to know about that because it gives them affirmation that they're okay too. So more truth, less polished, and more experimenting. She talked about a 14-day challenge. And if anyone's interested, there's another one coming up soon. But she talked about going live, how important that was. And it was so hard for her. But during the 14-day challenge, she went live not all of the 14 days, but some. It was, baby steps, right? And so you make yourself more relatable when people see that you're not perfect. And so by going ahead and doing a live, and I'm going to give you the formula that she talked about. A formula for a live, or actually any posting, is have a catchy title. And she says if you need some ideas, go to the supermarket and look at all the magazines in the stand, because that'll give you some good ideas, and that'll be really catchy. So the 14-day challenge, it's something the Rank Maker does. I'm seeing the question, and you just go live for 14 days, but there's so much more to it. It's awesome. It's kind of like going through a little bit of a university class. Okay, so then,
If anyone asks Sandy, if anybody asks any questions, you just keep going, and if I can answer it or somebody else
I
can,
will.
don't you worry about it.
I will. Thank you. Catchy title, pre-engage. And so that's different than scrolling. That's where you purposely go and you comment and you like and you send messages for at least 10 or so engagements. That wakes Facebook up. And then lies, you introduce yourself, ask a question, share content, invest, learn, and teach. And this is what Nikki was talking about. Who else could benefit from what you know? If you're learning something, turn around and do a Facebook Live about it. That will reinforce that. Okay, so whenever possible, take them. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The last one is call to action. That's the last formula. So catchy title, pre-engage, introduce self, ask a question, share content, and then call to action. You always want to have a call to action. You want them contacting you for whatever it is. And the call to action is usually information, not buy my product. So maybe you give 3 tips on something, and then you say, if you want the rest of these tips on, how to eat healthy or whatever, message me, private message me. So you want them contacting you. Okay, love people. Oh wait, whenever possible, take them from Facebook to Facebook. Whether it's going Zoom, live on Zoom with them, a virtual coffee. I do that with a lot of people. FaceTime. Or if you can get face-to-face with them, that's awesome. People are wanting to belong. 85% are happy making $0 to $500 because they really they want to belong. So love people where they're at. Let them know there is a business and meet them, right what they want to achieve, whether it's just doing the, small steps, just getting their product for free, or maybe they really want to. She says for a like a busy mom, break it down. Simple next steps. Don't give them too much. And last thing is be more addicted to your activity than the results. So that's it for Jamie. I just want to say, I'm not going to say much about this, but I have fallen in love with the new Tower Garden home. So watch out for your what's it called? Insights that'll come either tonight or in the morning, because there's going to be a whole lot more information. It's smaller, it's white, it has the lights. I have a corner just waiting for it. I think that's it.
All right, thank you so much, Sandy. And if you all check on the HEAT or the Turn Up the HEAT or your own team chats, Trailblazers, Team Tenacity, whatever your team is, you'll see pictures. People have been posting this new little cute tower garden. It's so great. So, and it holds actually more plants. It holds 32 plants instead of 28, but it's not as big. It's amazing. So you'll have to check that out. Again, check your Facebook groups to see more pictures of that. So the next is Melissa. And Melissa, we're now at almost 6:20. We only go to 6:30. So we've got 2 more presenters after you. So if you can keep it to just about 5 minutes, that would be incredible. And I am going to bring you up, Melissa Falco, and we're ready for you to go.
All right, I'm going to do like speed dating. Here we go.
Yeah, I love speed dating.
All right, so I am here to talk about Shawn Myers and Shelly Mackey, because I really felt that they were 2 of the most impactful people that we had at this particular conference, and I love that they were bookends. It really helped me kind of wrap my head around the whole experience. What Shawn wrote down that I just really take to heart at this point in time and been talking to my team a lot about is timing. That we're in a really unique time where people in this room have the ability to double and triple their income. And he says that the window is open, but it won't be forever. I really think that's important for people to know. And one of the things that I've been stressing to my team is that thinking of this as like the marathon starts on January 1st when this comp plan shifts. And the people who are preparing now are going to do much better in that race than the people who are sitting on the sidelines kind of watching what's happening, right? So now is the time to be jumping in and really generating all that interest. He said that you want to leave here with a strategy. And one of the things, I wasn't going to say this, Nikki, but I'll just throw this in here since you asked us to share what we're doing on our teams. One of the concepts that I presented to my team was this concept of the power of 3s, and that when you do something this is a teaching mechanism that we used to learn and that we had back in my teaching days. But when you do something once, if you do it the first time, you're just getting started, right? The second time you have a little bit of practice under your belt, and the third time you're heading towards proficiency. So I really challenge them, if you're going to get 1 rep, let's go for 3. If you're going to get 1 customer, let's go for 3. If we're going to do one event, let's go for 3, and let's do it in a condensed amount of time so that we can learn faster, move forward quicker, and really create that momentum, that energy to propel us into January. So that's just something that we've been talking about. So let's see if it says, let's see, if I was, all right, I'm going to skip that. Okay, so actually, I'm going to say that. Okay, so if I was thinking about this today, but if I was paid to go out and work and expand this business at this point in time, when he talks about strategy, I would be thinking about, you know, like if I was in a traditional sales role and I had to show up to a desk, a cubicle, right? And I was paid to expand that business. I would be sitting there proactively thinking about where to go to generate business, similar to what Jamie Kenzie was talking about and what Ray Higdon talks about. In that, you know, where can I expand my warm market? But it's further than that. When we take the Tower Garden application, for instance, right? To take that Tower Garden and think to yourselves, like, how many nursing homes do I have access to in this radius that I could actually physically visit, call on, and get proficient at, you know, that talk track, that kind of thing. I think there's an opportunity for that right now that there hasn't been in the past, where we can really expand our warm market. So in terms of strategy, I just think that we should be thinking about a lot of those things. When it comes to Shelly Mackey, I'm going to switch over because we're short on time. She showed up, and she is one of my favorite people, just FYI. When they announced that she was closing, I was over the moon. She showed up to her first Elton's Award as a 75 club. So to put that into perspective for the newest people on the line, you don't get to the Eltons unless you're a 12 club. So she showed up at 75, which is unbelievable. And her second Elton, she was at 100 club. I just think that that is incredible. She talks about $500 a month can save a marriage, which fits right in line, Nikki, with the whole 500 strong, you know, project. And I think that that's a really big thing to take to heart when we're talking to people. Like, how could that $500, like $500, okay, sounds like not so much, but how could that impact you in your life at this moment? She talked about crazy intentional focus, and I love that. I have it posted on my wall. Crazy intentional focus, stay in your lane. You know, I know some other business coaches talk about that too, but to put the blinders on, you know, and just stay focused on what is it that you want. Our team did a whole exercise last night on what do you want? Forget goals, just what do you want? Because that want will propel you forward if you want it badly enough, right? Have lots of fun. Like, she is the epitome of fun. And I think that, you know, as I'm kind of like looking at my own business, like, where can we have more fun? In which areas is it attractive for other people to say yes? Because if they see you having fun, they're going to be that much more apt for you to listen to what you have to say. All right, 30 seconds. What's the vibe of your tribe? Right? She talks about that. I love how she talked about herself as the chief energy officer. I am a 1000% supporter of that concept. And I think that you create the energy in your downline. Do they trust you? Do they love you? Do they want to spend time with you? Is it something that do you create opportunities for, you know, support and recognition and all these great things? Like, we get the chance, you guys, as business owners, to create the energy that we want in our organizations. And I just think that she is the epitome of that. She says, this is a quote that I put in here from Wendy Campbell, but I think it's really important, and it came through Shelly in this presentation. She said, Juice Plus does not cause problems in the body or in relationships, but it exposes them. And that's something that I think is something that we should all just have in our tool belt, because I'll say it again, Juice Plus does not cause problems in the body or in relationships, but it exposes them. Super powerful. Okay, so quitting is not an option. Success is a choice. Successful people make decisions. We have to be decisive. It's one thing our team was working on. We went to the escape room one night and really had to make decisions and do this big team building activity, and it was awesome. Ignite a fire in someone else. You are never alone, which is another concept that I think is really important for us to just propel out to everybody. Never let anybody on your team feel alone. Everybody has a place. We are so much better together was the last thing I ended on, and that's all I got.
Hey, Melissa, that was great. And I love that you ended on, we are always better together. And so if the focus is always about that, things can shift radically in your business. So we have 3 more speakers. We're going to have Tyra Reeby. He's going to talk about the in-home Tower Garden. Lisa, you're going to do the NMD, cover a little bit of what you gleaned from the NMD speeches, and Chris is going to close this up. So Tyra, I'm putting this over to you. And you are on mute.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Okay, so great information so far, but I know we're all excited about the new home tower garden. And if you don't mind, I had a couple pictures. I'm just going to put them up here, Nikki.
Perfect. I love it.
Great, great, great. Here we go. Okay, y'all can see that?
Nope.
No,
Hit share.
I did. Okay, we'll do it one more time, and if not, I'll just.
Sometimes when you pull it up and you click on it, you forget to hit the word share again. There you go. There
Are we
you
in
go.
it? Okay, go. Okay, so everybody, it won't go. There we go. So everybody can see it here. Yes, it's slim, it's sleek, it's 5 feet tall, but it's only 24 inches wide. And what Tim Blank was telling me too is the idea is that you can actually move an end table out of the way and put in a tower garden. It has the built-in wheels, and it has 32 plant sites, which includes 16 for the big plants and 16 for your baby greens, not microgreens, but they're calling them now baby greens. It also includes a new timer. When your timer, you know how complicated it can be. This one there's two options. There's an I for indoor setting or an O for outdoor setting. Boom, you're done. Your timer is set. The other thing is it has a new water level monitor, so it will tell you when to add some more water. How about that? Simple and easy. And something that's probably really, I'm just going to keep this really short, something that's probably really,
Come here.
your paycheck
Put a brush to your hair, please.
is going to go up with this, because not only we used to get $55, now we will get 3 times that amount. It's $167.50 in retail sales profit alone. So how about that? That is a huge pay increase. November 1st is what we're estimating this new home tower garden is going to be available to all of us and to all of our customers. It's gorgeous, and I already found my spot too, Sandy. I know exactly where it's going to go. I measured it and everything today, so
That's perfect.
excited about that.
I love it. I can't wait to see yours posted. You and Sandy have it posted on the HEAT team page when you install it. So if you will stop the screen share, Tyra, and,
sure will.
and thank you. You really were concise. You got it across, and you guys, this baby is amazing. It really is. So there we go. So Lisa, I'm looking for you now. Let's see, where'd you go? Heck, there you are. There you are. I'm dancing
all around.
All
Okay,
right.
super quick. The NMD speeches are always a highlight for people, and I actually just want to address that. We had 4 powerful, amazing national marketing director speeches, and some of my team asked me, why are there not a lot? And first of all, things ebb and flow. I think we had a lot in Sacramento. And I also just want to point out that Canada had their own conference 2 weeks ago, the first conference ever in Calgary. So we didn't have our Canadian neighbors with us at this convention, which we normally always do, and they give their speeches at our conferences. We also did not have the Australians. So we did pretty darn good, in my opinion. And why I fell in love with these national marketing director speeches, because every single woman that was up on that stage was a working mom who has been able to leave their corporate job because of this marketing plan. And I want to really acknowledge Carolyn, who is on this call, who's a national marketing director on the HEAT team. She had her amazing new NMD, Alexis, who's not on the call tonight because she's out working her business. And I fell in love with Alexis's story and her resilience and her willingness to go for it. But I just want to point out that Carolyn called Alexis, and Alexis was way down in one of Carolyn's reports. She shared on the stage that she was a Children's Health Study participant. And Carolyn did her job as a national marketing director, and she reached down and she called, and she got no a couple of times before something in Alexis's, it just was like stirring around. So congratulations, Carolyn. I know you worked your tail off for Alexis. You don't get to NMD in 14 months and not have a powerful support team. So you were amazing, and you were nominated for an Elton, which was so awesome. And by the way, you guys, don't miss the Eltons. I mean, they blew our hair back. They blew our freaking hair back. It was like a rock concert. I still am getting my voice back from the Eltons. It was amazing. So, so Alexis's story touched us all because she was a customer for 18 years and rose up and has been able to leave her job. And another mom that shared was a pharmaceutical sales rep that is also now home with her kids. And she was able to cancel 2 heart surgeries that were scheduled for her daughter because of Juice Plus. That was powerful. And I took notes on the stories, you guys, because it's the stories that are so compelling. And I also want to share about Garrett Soldano, the chiropractor. Another great story. His sponsor dripped on him for over a year. And of course, I know we get intimidated with our healthcare professionals, and it can be really hard to like drip on them. And, you know, they're all on our chicken list. But the one thing that got it for him was our, you know, now we call it the Family Healthy Starts, the Children's Health Study. That is what got to his heart. So what if Beth didn't keep dripping, keep dripping, keep dripping? I just loved his story. And of course, he's very energetic and has a great stage persona and all that, but you don't need to be like that to be an amazing national marketing director. And now look at all the lives that he's been able to help. And, you know, I'm a mom that wants to bring more moms home from their corporate jobs. And for me, it was so inspiring to see these women that just dug into this marketing plan and made it happen for their families. So we can go out and do the same and help a lot of families come together. So I was just really inspired by the NMD speeches this conference.
Hey, Lisa, the thing that really makes it is exactly what you're talking about, is the idea that the not to compare ourselves with these incredible, powerful people, but to really get that anything is possible. And they show us what's possible. They really put possibility on the stage. They put possibility and hope on our stage so that we can go home with that kind of energy. So with that, I'm going to ask my lovely partner, my amazing husband, to close this call up tonight.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, all you the speakers and all of you that came to conference. As you know, they presented a lot of changes. And we've been talking about those coming since last May. And here's the thing. I got 2 questions for you. One is, do you understand the significance of what they're doing and the time and the effort they've been putting into it? If you take the big picture, now Nikki and I this month are celebrating 29 years with the company.
Woohoo on the anniversary.
So, yeah. So you know, look what it's done for all of our lives already. And if you remember that conversation from Brian Marsh about when you go out into the field and you want to let people know this is a new and unique situation. We're not a improved situation. We're brand new. So you get the significance of this. You have this company that's already 50 years old. There's nothing like us out there. There's no product like we have, arguably the best product in the world. Certainly the #1 selling encapsulated whole food product in the world, the #1 research nutritional product in the world. Nobody can say that except for us. Then the company, going on 50 years old. We have a 50-year-old brand new opportunity. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I want you to bring the energy when you're sharing this. And our track record, you know, in the 50 years, we're about to hit $1 billion a year. 3 out of 5 of our product lines, we've become #1 in the world. We have a generosity that's unmatched in corporate America or network marketing. The money that, thanks to the Juice Plus Foundation that we give to St. Jude's and Volunteers of America. And then it's the culture, the non-competitive, some people call it the love bubble, the one team, one mission attitude. So when you wrap that all together, we already have one of a kind, but now they are reimagining our company. They are streamlining everything that we're going to do, understanding that simplification creates acceleration. So they're investing in people, they're investing in technology, they're investing in the, what do they call it? They're investing, putting more money in the compensation plan. They're laying a foundation for another 50 years, expanding the capacity for us to attract more people that want to up-level their health, their wealth, and their fulfillment. They are intentionally placing themselves as the leading global healthy living community. So they're doing all of that, and this brings me to my second question, is if they can put in 3 years, millions of dollars to position themselves for massive impact, what are you willing to do? If they can put all this money and effort into reimagining the future, could you put 3 days, 3 hours, 30 minutes into reimagining your future? If you've been with us for a while and things aren't happening the way you want them to happen, this is a new beginning for you. So I'm suggesting, if you're willing to go through some changes and just maybe shift a few things, and shift your mindset. There's a lot of things you can shift. Here's what you do not need to do. This does not require a long psychological assessment. It does not require you finding blame, beating yourself up, giving other people credit. There's no obligation, there's no duty. There's just simply an opportunity for you to take some time and think about what action is missing currently in your business. What action steps are missing? Think about that. For you to excel, your freedom awaits. The opportunity's never been better. Enjoy.
All right, good job. So, whoops, what are we doing? Exit full screen gallery. Here we are. Here's all of us once again together. We can all see everybody. I don't know what you're looking at when we record, but I'm bouncing between Spotlight and individual, and now I can see was over 90 of us on the call tonight. I want to congratulate all of you for making it to conference that we're able to. I want to congratulate all of you that were on the call tonight to check this out, to either hear it for a second time or to learn more and catch our excitement. I want to give big congratulations to our new 24 Club, Carolyn Swanger. Carolyn, so cool to see you up. As an Elton nominee, 3 years ago, did you imagine that? I don't think so. I think that's so cool. So once again, let's imagine anything we want. Let's imagine the possibility of our lives being exactly the way we'd like them to be. What if? I leave you with that question, what if? I leave you with a thought of share when you've got something good, sending lots of love. We've got another great call scheduled for you next week. Let's go out there, finish strong the end of October, and really live the healthy living revolution and the freedom revolution and be the absolute best examples we can possibly be. Lots of love to everybody. Good night.
Rock and roll.